there's just no middle ground there. Like none whatsoever, because then you end up handing it to Shedinja, and then Shedinja's like, ha ha ha, I win.
And now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only Pucko Podcast.
It's Pucko! Pucko! It's Pucko! Pucko! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Pucko! Grab your friends, it's that time again! Listen to the show where the fun never ends. It's Pucko! Pucko! Oh yeah! Pucko! Drink that! Your co-host, whoever you have, it's Pucko! Pucko! Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah! Pucko! Pucko!
And welcome to the 347th episode of the Pucko Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my suave co-hosts,
Zakran and Basket.
I don't know if those were suave voices.
That was not.
I was trying to be suave.
It's kind of more scumbaggish than anything.
That was
like, hey girl, how you doing? I'm Zakran. Yeah.
That was probably one of the funnier things I've seen or heard. Not, I didn't see it, I heard it, but I think that was pretty good. I'll take that. I'll accept it. As always, we are the Pucko Podcast. It stands for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name yours truly came up with in 2007. We will have an awesome show for you guys today. We have the news, the topic, which is going to be talking about useless items that we have never done before. Of course, another episode of Pucko's Pokey Quiz, our Poke of the episode today. And we're going to end everything off with a couple of mailbags, a couple of emails, where you guys chime in and give us your thoughts. So let's get something done before that, though, and I want to know what you guys been up to lately in life and the universe and everything in Pokemon.
Following inspiration from last week's episode, I decided to make a PU team on Showdown.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like I made a super weird set, and I've come to the decision that I really don't like how fairy typing is on Mr. Mime anymore, because its ability was Filter, and I preferred having the super effective hits from Ghost, Bug, and what are those other things? Powerful Guns, Psychic, Dark, yeah. And Fairy typing negates all of those, which just makes Mr. Mime worse in my opinion, but you do get the Filter effectiveness against Poison and Steel now, which is nice. And anyway, I put like Phytinium on a Mr. Mime, and I thought it was really funny to watch it punch things.
If you're doing that on Cart, I feel like it would be even funnier. Honestly, like
yes.
Watching All Out Pummeling with Mr. Mime, I could see that being a blast.
Yeah. I have a little story. So I live on a cul-de-sac, at the end of a cul-de-sac, and in front of my neighbor's house, there's a really weird Pokemon Go anomaly where just like 15 Pokemon at a time will just spawn there, like right in front of her house, only there. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's supposed to happen, but it's really, really convenient because I go and walk like 20 steps, and then all of a sudden, like, all these Pokemon pop up, and usually there's like one or two rare ones there. So I went and did that today. I managed to get a Feebas this morning.
Oh, that's cool. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I got
some of
my
the stuff
first
I did.
two Alolan Pokemon this morning, actually.
Did you get a Diglett and a Geodude?
Well, no, it was a Geodude and a Alolan Executor.
Oh, that's
cool.
Cool.
Yeah, because they made them spawn a lot this weekend because of GoFest.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Diglett and Geodude are brand new. Those are just new in general.
That's cool. I haven't seen
Those were the last two that they need outside of Alolan Marowak and Alolan Raichu. Those are the only two that are unreleased now. I think you're going to at least see Alolan Marowak become a raid boss. I don't know about Alolan Raichu. They'll probably do something to make Alolan Raichu something big, some kind of event, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't suck, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Maybe
it's going to suck. It's Pokemon Go.
Special pancake-related item.
Really, really quick, I wanted to let the podcast members know, So this new August Pokemon Go one where it's going to be Eevee,
Yeah.
all of you should get out there and do that. Because if you're having type coverage issues in Pokemon Go, this is going to help you out so much because every single one of the ones that are available, except for Umbreon, are extremely usable when you're attacking gyms and things like that. And it's only 25 candies, right, to like evolve them. So you can have like a whole team of water, electric, psychic, and fire to go up against raid bosses and stuff like that are actually viable. So I would highly suggest you guys to do that.
Hey, mate, I'm just doing it for the shinies. What is the special perk of this time?
They usually don't announce it right away.
Okay.
Oh,
so then...
it's 3 times Stardust.
Oh, like that perk.
Oh,
I was thinking of the move that Eevee will have.
You pop a
It's like they're not going to tell you.
Oh, man. That's a lot. Wow.
The last time they did 3 times Stardust, my star piece didn't stack on top of it, and it made me really sad.
Oh.
There was like a bug, and it crushed my heart.
That would suck because Stardust is so hard to come by.
Yeah.
Right?
You just want to level up everything, and it's just never enough. Ugh.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, Basket, what have you been up to, man? How's life? The universe? Pokemon?
It's just been Pokemon Go for me. I haven't had enough time to sit down and play much of the games or anything, and I can just do Pokemon Go, on my work breaks. So that's essentially what I'm doing. As far as regular life, just working, and I completed the final draft for the comic that I'm doing.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, no problem. I've sent it out to a couple other people as well to get back different takes from it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that. I've already started drawing it and everything, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, as for myself, I haven't been doing too much Pokemon stuff. Mostly because next week's PuckleCon. So for those of you who are just like, man, I really can't wait to drive from California to Ohio next week, or just like, I have the free time to do that, you can come to the Dayton, Ohio Convention Center on July 21st and 22nd. Come to PuckleCon. We're going to have so many events. I need to pull it up right now because I have not read all of the events on the show. I just keep alluding to different ones. So let me read you the schedule right now because this is going to be pretty hype. And if you don't come, you're going to miss it. So from 10 to 6, we're probably going to be doing a standard TCG tournament that you can come and play in. It's going to be $20 to register for that because we want to do prizes, and we're going to do a lot of prizes. 50% of that goes to prizing. The other $10 will be going to the venue cost. So for everybody that jumps in, we have 3 packs of Pokemon cards that just drop into the prizing.
That is crazy for like a tournament.
Yeah. Isn't that nutsos?
Like most places don't even they might do the one consolation pack.
Exactly. So you just we drop like 3 packs into the prize pool, and it's going to be crazy. You'll probably just get a pack for playing for sure, but if not, like the prize support is going to be nuts. And also, we're going to have side events that day if you're not into the TCG. So if you're not into the TCG, on Saturday the 21st at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a gold, silver, and crystal virtual console tournament. It's going to be fun. You can play with those teams, and you can battle each other, and it's going to be great. There is no level cap. Let me tell you, there is no level cap. So you can use whatever level Pokemon you have. I'm sure Cloud9 will beat you. It's fine. He is like super prepped for that, by the way. He's incredibly prepped.
Oh, my Lord.
At 1 p.m., we're going to be doing a multi-battle tournament on the video game cart. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to be doing a Little Cup tournament.
Can we do a black and white rotation battle tournament, please?
Not right now, because I already put this up 3 months ago, and we're not changing the rules now.
We need to change it now.
And for all of those are pretty cheap to get into. We're going to be selling tickets for entry. All of those are going to be taking 3 tickets. And so you can buy 1 ticket for $2 or 3 for $5. You can also buy single tickets and use those to jump into like pick up TCG, VGC, and TCG tournaments. Pokken tournaments. We will be doing TCG drafts as well. We have supplies for like 2 or 3 drafts. So if you want to do that, that's going to cost more tickets. Those are probably something, I think they're on the order of like 10 or 12 tickets. I forgot the price already. So you'll see the sign up anyway. Those are going to be really fun though too. If you've never played the TCG before, those are a good time.
Drafts are incredible.
They're so much fun. And so we have like the Ultra Prism pre-release packs for that. That's not it. That we're just done with Monday or Saturday. We have Sunday. There's fun on Sunday.
Yeah.
On Sunday, if you play the VGC, you can come on down around 9 o'clock and get registered for $10. You can jump into a VGC tournament, and we'll be doing that all day. But at the same time, we'll have side events. If you don't play the VGC and you're like, man, I still want to play TCG, well, guess what? We have a theme deck tournament happening at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So that's going to be a blast. Theme deck tournament is a blast, by the way. We did that last year. It was so much fun.
I love theme deck tournaments. I think I brought it up last time, but Seth Vilo had the best one.
Yeah.
So can you bring like theme decks from any set?
From any set, because they're all relatively balanced together.
I don't know, like the ones.
No, not at all. But they're pretty bad. Some of them are pretty bad.
If you want to do that and you're looking to win, it's a really quick Google to figure out what decks are available and how viable they are.
Garchomp.
Garchomp.
Like, that's the answer.
It's like any theme deck, right? From any time.
Any theme deck. Theme deck, not like Battle Arena decks. That needs to be made clear.
Yeah.
We'll probably have a couple extras floating around if you want one. We also are going to have a Battle Royale tournament going on at 1 o'clock. And then following that, we have at 3 o'clock, probably the closing ceremonies of PuckleCon will be the Pokemon Stadium 2 minigame tournament that everybody is assuredly hyped for.
The winner gets the privilege of being sacrificed to Giratina.
Yes, that is exactly the prize. It's not like 10 Pokemon packs or something.
If you've never played Pokemon Stadium minigames, it is like you don't have to know a darn thing about Pokemon.
No, anybody can play.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Just have to be really fast at pushing buttons.
I hope this PuckleCon's really good, because if it is, we can continue growing and we can do a lot of more awesome things. And one of the things I really want to see, I want like parents to have something to do so they don't feel like they're sitting around. We're gonna have Pokin' Up. We have those TVs now. We're gonna have like some N64s plugged in, so you can just kind of play in between and hang out. It'll be a good time. I'm pretty excited.
If you remember, last year it was a parent that won the TCG tournament.
That is so true.
That was awesome. It was someone's mom playing this awesome Lapras deck.
Mm-hmm. That is true. A mom won PuckleCon last year. All right. So, I mean, that's what I've been doing. I've been prepping for that. But I've never actually said everything that's going on. And I finally locked down the internet, so we're going to try to stream some of it. We're going to see how that goes.
Good stuff.
Shamu's coming early, and he's going to help me try to figure out all the rigging for everything that we need. I haven't told him he's helping me with that, but it's fine. He can find out. That is going to be it, though, guys. We are going to kick it on over and go talk about some news. So let's cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. In the news, we have so much to talk about today, actually, in the news. I did not prep you guys for this, by the way. There's just going to be way too much news, and your heads are all going to explode.
Can I stop you for just a second there, Thatch?
Okay.
I was going to Bulbapedia to take a look at recent news, like just now, and I am very forlorn to say that my Bulbapedia was immediately redirected to the Lickitung page. And I have no idea why.
Let's talk about something that's not Lickitung.
I disagree. Let's talk about Lickitung news.
So let's jump into what's going on. There has been a lot of stuff that's happened in the past few days. First of all, Funko Pop has joined with Pokemon, and they're going to be doing the first Pikachu Pop vinyl. That's going to come out very soon, this July, so later this month. Only in Target stores.
Are we talking about Sody Pop?
No, Funko Pop, like the bobblehead.
Oh, okay. Because I was not thinking of that at all. I had no idea. I was thinking it was either a soda or it was like a pop music thing. And I was like, what is going on?
It's Funko Pop, so you're going to get a Funko Pop Pikachu in the very near future. So you should definitely consider doing that.
Jinx.
Maybe one day. I mean, you can get the Jinx plush. They just dropped. It's only in Japan, I found out right now. The Fit 151 or something like that. It's a new plush line. They were going to be doing all 151 Pokemon for that, so you're going to have to import them, unfortunately, right now. However, some of those plushes already existed, by the way, because like the Zapdos plush and the Moltres plush and the Articuno plush I already bought. And it was like from a different line a long time ago, but it's the exact same plushes that they were selling.
I don't know how fun it would be to hug like a Zapdos plush.
I didn't buy it for that. I bought it because I was like super excited about my placement at St. Louis Regionals. And I'm like, which plush should I have for that? Because everybody has a plush that they carry around for that kind of nonsense. I'm like, Zapdos. He was a star. And so I got the Zapdos plush and I got the others.
Oh, yeah. It's like what they do at Worlds where like in the junior competitions, especially like the kids bring like their enormous Pokemon plushies, and since they're allowed to have it, they just like set it on the desk in front of them.
Yeah, it's like stated in the rules that you're allowed to have that.
Yeah, so I'm a Pokemon judge, so like the rule is you can have it as long as it doesn't like infringe upon the other person's play space.
Exactly.
Or like distract them too much.
Those plushes are coming out, and it's only 30 of them as of right now, but in November they're going to be releasing the other 121, which will include Jinx. So you can get your Jinx plush imported. My favorite thing is, though, like out of the 30 they chose, Diglett's one of them. I want Diglett.
You're not going to find out what's under their thatch.
I know, but I just want the plush so like I can put it on things so it looks like he's coming up out of my table and stuff. I think it would be adorable.
I don't think it'll look like that. I don't think that's what it's going to look like.
We're going to move on just a little bit more. We got a new trailer for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, along with a bunch of cool artwork. The trailer didn't really reveal anything. It just gave us artwork for Brock and Misty. Misty's in a very precarious pose in her artwork. I would encourage our listeners to go look it up themselves because I do not want to describe it on air.
Precarious, like going to fall off a cliff, or like precarious as in like a precarious social, situation where
the latter.
If you discuss it. Okay, I see.
The latter. But they also came out with this like sweet Kanto map. It's so cool because it has artwork, like not good artwork, but like little cartoons of all of the original 151 Pokemon with the map of Kanto. And it's so legit. I want to get a really high-res version of it and just kind of like put it on a canvas or something. It's so cool.
Like circle in big red Sharpie marker the SSN and show like, how does it get out of Vermilion Harbor?
Because it's smaller than the rocks, okay? It actually does. It's smaller than the rocks. There's just a cloister in the way.
They do have a cloister.
The cloister's just artwork, so it can get out there, and then everybody's like, but it can't get out past the cycling road. The cycling road's a bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
It just goes underneath the cycling road, and it's fine. So I've told you why your reasoning's not good.
Nice retconning, Thatch. Nice
Boom.
Retconning.
So I fixed all of your issues with that. And also, they revealed that Eevee is getting a gender difference. Like what? Pikachu in its tail, it gets like a little heart shape on its tail. Eevee's tail color pattern changes, and like it gets a little heart on its tail when it's a female.
Okay.
Also, they revealed that you battle the legendary birds in this, a game where you don't actually do any wild battles. You battle the legendary birds, much like a raid, I guess, in a way.
Okay.
And then you probably get the opportunity to catch them after you defeat them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool feature. It's also a little argumentative because it's just like, why would you take away all of the wild encounters, but these you're going to keep in?
Yeah.
But I think they have some kind of story presence, story reminiscence as well. The other thing that didn't make it to the US trailer that I'm a little disappointed about is that Jesse and James are actually in this game because this is a Pokemon Yellow remake. They made it a true Pokemon Yellow remake by putting Team Rocket back into the actual gameplay, just like Pokemon Yellow, which is
They're
cool.
the ones that you fight to get the fossils, right?
Yeah, well, you also fight them in a couple different places in Pokemon Yellow.
Right.
So they'll show up other places, but they are the ones you fight for the fossils in Pokemon Yellow, and that's the scene that they showed.
If I'm correct, we have quite a bit of Pokemon Go news, right?
Oh, we have a bit of Pokemon Go news. Are you ready for this?
Lugia is coming to raid battles this weekend, right?
Lugia is in raid battles this weekend because we can, and why not? It's Pokemon Go Fest. Let's do it. In addition to that, they actually put out this artwork recently that showed some Gen 4 Pokemon as a Pokemon Go advertisement. And so Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup are in this artwork along with other Pokemon that have been previously released for Pokemon Go. So watch out for that. It means Gen 4 is on the horizon.
Finally, I can get like 5 Probo passes.
That's all anybody wants.
Honestly, I'm just so excited that the final evolutions for so many Pokemon are going to be available. Like, because that's what's really been bothering me that I've wanted out of Gen 4 is just...
You're just going to see like 50 people, like a bunch of people suddenly have like 50 Honchkrows or something.
Oh, Honchkrows. The big thing that I'm really concerned with seeing is Rhyperior. Because Rhydon's really good in Pokemon Go, and you're just going to be like, yeah, he's already 2,800 CP or 3,000 CP, and he's going to evolve.
It's honestly one of the better attacking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because it has a higher attack stat than stuff like Tyranitar and Aggron.
Yes.
I'm like doubly worried about Rhyperior because they recently redid how CP and attack and stuff are generated. So basically Pokemon with extremely low stats in one thing and then extremely high stats in another get this giant boost. So like right now, Alakazam's always been like viable, but right now Alakazam's like crazy good because of that disparity. You have to be like a super solid Pokemon for that to have not like messed you up, like Snorlax or things like that. I can't remember what it is, but there's a Pokemon right now that can 1v1 Snorlax as long as it's the same CP level, which was like never a thing before. I actually think it was Rhydon.
Interesting. They also announced the next Community Day is going to be Eevee with 3 times Stardust and 3-hour lure modules as usual. However, they're doing it for 2 days. Instead of 1 day, I believe. So they're going to be doing it from, in the Americas, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern on both August 11th and August 12th.
That's cool.
So you're going to be able to get 2 of them. They can be shiny, and they'll get another move that they can learn. Also, because Pokemon Go Fest is going on, and they're just like, remember how bad it was last year? And everybody goes, yeah. They have released Alolan Geodude line, the Alolan Diglett line, and Shiny Plusle Minun. Have fun with that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon.
Pokemans. So
right.
That is going to be it right now for the news. If we do have Puckle news, first of all, PuckleCon's happening this weekend, so you should come to PuckleCon. And it's on July 21st and 22nd. I know we already talked about it. I just wanted to say it. Summer League is also happening, so come by and get your badges. There's only 3 weeks left for badge collection, so you got to come and get it now.
Yep, you still have plenty of time. Like our gym leaders are working hard to give you as much time to battle them as possible. Honestly, at this point, if you can't get their gym time, just message them politely and like be like, "Hey, can you battle me?" And then more than likely they'll be like, "Hey, I can do it at this time," and then you'll have a chance to battle them, earn your badge, and then enter the Summer League tournament, and then win that sweet 2DS XL if you manage to beat Scron.
You have to get the badges first. You only have like 2 now, right?
I have 4 badges, thank you very much.
Oh, man. How many of them were given to you Ash Ketchum style? Thanks. I only award my badge to people who help me put out the fire at my gym. Okay?
You tried really hard, so I'm going to give you this badge. Unfortunately, Puckle is the Underground Champions League, so we only give badges to winners.
To winners. All right.
It's okay. Don't feel bad like if you don't get your badge the first time. I've had to rematch everybody so far. Except I think I didn't have to rematch Whimsicott, but like I got lucky.
Yeah, it's a good time though. We have a blast. So definitely check that out if you want to learn competitive Pokemon. Also for a chance to win a 2DS XL. Moving on from there, I think that is all of the news we have. So what we are going to do, guys, is we are going to kick it on over to Puckle's Pokey Quiz, where we are going to quiz our co-host on their innate Pokemon knowledge.
Learned.
And welcome to Puckle's Pokey Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-host on their innate Pokemon knowledge. Of course, that means no browsers. They have to use what's in their heads. They cannot use any help or lifelines. This will be a series of 5 questions. Basket and Scrawn will be operating as a team, and they will get joint points together. They are playing against all the other co-hosts for a Pokemon plush from PokemonCenter.com of $20 or less in value.
Excellent.
It is a race to 30 points. Right now, Scrawn is in the lead with 8, actually. So good for him. So we are going to go ahead and get started.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I have the Lickitung Bulbapedia page open?
No, you cannot.
Oh.
All of these questions are about Lickitung. But we are going to go ahead and start the questions. You guys have 5 questions, 1 hint to use throughout all of the questions. There's also 1 question that includes a bonus point. You can, of course, cash in that hint, though, for an extra point if you get all of the questions correct without it, for a possible total of 7. If you guys are ready to go, I am ready to ask you some questions.
I'm ready.
My body is ready.
All right, so this first question comes to us from Ironcaster. He wants to know, what was Ash's original starter choice at Professor Oak's lab?
Do you know, Basket?
I want to say it was like a callback to something. I think it might have been Bulbasaur.
Was it? I want to say it was Charmander because of his fiery personality.
But I thought that's the one that Gary got.
That would make sense though, because like Gary like took everything from Ash, or like had the perception of taking stuff from Ash. Because like, I'm better than you. Gary, he's so cool. I would guess Charmander, but I'll go with your gut feeling on this.
Yeah,
it might even be Squirtle. Who knows? I think that was why it was so important that he ended up getting a Charmander, because he had always wanted one or whatever. I don't know. That's what I would guess.
What is your final answer?
You decide, Basket.
You're bringing up a really good point, but I feel like Bulbasaur.
That is unfortunately incorrect. The answer is actually Squirtle. It is exactly for the reason that you guys said, though. It was because Gary got that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gary's starter was Blastoise, or Squirtle. He had a Blastoise at the end, and then there was a huge showdown between the Blastoise and the Charizard.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there you guys go. All right, so for another awesome anime-related question, this one comes from Shira. She wants to know, what is the only shiny Pokemon that has shown up in the Sun and Moon anime thus far?
The Sun and Moon anime. It has to be. Oh my god. I don't know a darn thing about it.
You guys should watch it, by the way. It's very good.
I did. I watched some of it. I'm trying to remember.
Let's see.
It is on Netflix. This episode in particular is on Netflix. Of course, you guys do have the hint as well.
Doesn't like a shiny Meryl show up in the game? Or what is it? A shiny Execute is what it is. Yeah, the guy has a shiny Execute. Is that what it could be?
I have no idea, man.
It is a Gen 7 Pokemon, so like...
Oh. It's going to be one of those fun-looking ones.
Did you say which character has it?
None of the main characters have it, but not the shiny version of it.
Here, let's use our hint on this one.
It's in an episode where it revolves around Sophocles, the electric type trainer. He has actually one of these, but it's not shiny.
Probably it's Vikavolt then.
Yeah, let's say Vikavolt.
If there, or it could, like, Sophocles' whole thing is like Charjabug and his horde of Charjabugs, but like,
oh, it's probably Charjabug.
Would they really race?
They look like buses.
That is true.
It would be funny.
I'm gonna need an answer.
I think we're gonna go with the funnier answer and say Charjabug.
That is correct.
Yes!
It is Charjabug. There's an episode in the anime where Charjabug essentially they build these little cars for Charjabug, and it powers them and it turns the wheels.
That is so funny.
It races against a shiny Charjabug, which is just a red Charjabug.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun one. All right, so this next question comes from Hens, H3NZ. And he wants to know, what flying type Pokemon has the ability Steadfast?
So generally fighting types have that.
But this is a flying type.
Right.
Oh, wait, this isn't from Hens. I lied. This is from Hydra.
Okay. Steadfast.
But flying type Pokemon with Steadfast.
Like, my gut feeling says...
I know this one. It's Scyther.
Is it?
Yeah, it totally is, because I got a Scyther with Steadfast. And I was so upset because I was like, this is crap. And it was
all right, I'll go with that.
Someone was like, dude, I'll give you, what did they give me? They gave me something I really wanted because they just wanted it for their collection. And it was completely useless. They're like, oh, that's its hidden ability, because I didn't even know it had it. Like, I thought it was something like brand new. And someone traded me, I don't remember what it was. It was some baby Pokemon with a move that I needed for another Pokemon.
I mean, getting its hidden ability is actually a big deal, because I believe Technician is Scissor's hidden ability.
Ooh.
Let me double check that, but I might be lying.
I don't think it is.
Nope, it's light metal. It's garbage. Nope, Steadfast is garbage.
That is so garbage.
All right, so your answer is... See, there's your final answer. That is correct, by the way. That is correct. We were talking about Scizor. So that is 2 points for you guys today. Our next question is the bonus point question. And there is actually 3 answers. You only need 2. This is about Pokemon Go.
Excellent.
What Gen 3 Pokemon lines have yet to be released in Pokemon Go?
Gen 3 Pokemon lines. Oh, wow.
Snag already answered them in his car, by the way.
I know, he totally did. I've heard him talk about this before.
Are we talking about, like, legendaries and stuff? Is that...
That technically is an answer. I mean, because I didn't say not legendaries, I'll give you that, but there aren't that many of them.
Because I can name off, like, a lot.
Are we going to take the easy road out of this?
Actually, all of the legendaries, I think, have been out. Because they were just originally rotating.
It's only Regice that's out. Regirock, Registeel's not out.
I thought they were out in different countries.
I'm pretty sure Relicanth isn't out, right?
No, I know Clamperl isn't out yet, so that means that
the Clamperl. Okay.
the nose fish, Gorbis, and Huntail. Those aren't out yet.
It's the Clamperl evolutionary line, yeah. So that's one answer.
I'm pretty positive about that because I have a Relicanth.
Do you? Okay.
But
do you have Love Disc? Are those out?
Yeah, those are. I'm pretty positive I have one.
Oh, are Chimecho out?
I have no idea.
I don't think Chimecho's out.
Yeah, no, they're totally out.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Clamperl, but as a backup, I'm gonna say Regirock, Registeel, Deoxys, and Jirachi.
Okay, fine. Those count, but the real answer is the Nincada, Clamperl, and Spinda lines.
Okay.
Those are not out yet. But I'll take both. You'll get 2 points. That's 4 points for you guys today.
Spinda seems like a whole lot of work to try
yes,
to
I agree with that.
Really?
Everyone's different, and
Are you sure Spinda's out? Because I'm like almost positive.
It's not out.
It's not out.
It's what I just said. I have one. You know what? I'm gonna pull up Pokemon Go right now because I swear I have a Spinda.
You do not. I bet you $1 million bajillion.
All right. Well, anyways, we can continue.
All right. So our last question, as always, is a base stat question, and I hope you guys are ready for this. I want to know what normal type Pokemon has the lowest base attack stat. There are actually 2 of them that are tied for it, but I only need one.
Normal. Pokemon.
Lowest base attack stat. It also turns out to be the lowest base attack stat ever.
Are we talking about like the lowest evolutions?
I don't care as long as it is one of the Pokemon that is named.
Oh man, I don't even remotely know.
Normal type Pokemon with really poopy attack. Like really poopy attack.
Like first thing that comes to mind is like Igglybuff and Cleffa. But...
So yeah, Cleffa's not a normal type. So
I'd say, I guess I'd say Igglybuff. I don't really know what else. Because I know Happiny is like canonically like super powerful for its size, but it might not actually be.
I'm trying. What other ones have like special moves? Oh, Cast Form. Maybe.
Cast Form, maybe, yeah. That's
lowest base attack stat ever.
I don't have a definitive on this, but I'm going to go with it. You know what? Can we just give one answer? Or you said 2. So...
There are 2 of them, but I only need one of these answers.
All right, what do you want to go with, Basket?
What were our choices again? You said Igglybuff and what was the one I said again?
That's the only one that comes to mind for me.
I said Cast Form. How positive are you about Igglybuff?
I know it's like basically a puffball that can't do anything.
Right, but I know one of its first attacks is like Pound though. I don't know if that's just to psych you out or or what. Sure, let's go with Igglybuff.
That is unfortunately incorrect. Igglybuff isn't even like close to the lowest. Turns out Igglybuff's got a base 30 attack. The one that has the lowest attack is Happiny, tied with Chansey.
Happiny?
Yep.
You know, in like Pokemon Ranger, it's like lifting enormous boulders and stuff, right?
Yeah, but attack doesn't mean strength.
That makes no sense.
Yep. It's got a base 5 attack. Magikarp is next in line with base 10, tied with Shuckle and Blissey.
I can't even...
That is where we are going to end the trivia segment. That gives you guys a total of 4 points for today, so that's not too shabby, though.
Yeah, it's not shabby at all.
We are going to go ahead and give you guys those points, and we are going to jump right back into it. So right now we have in first place Scrawn with 12 points, followed by Gator with 7, Sublime with 6th, Shamu and Maximus are tied with 5 points, Basket comes up right after that with 4, and Yushiro has 1. So catch us next week for another exciting episode of Puckle's Pokey Quiz to see our coast, see if they can answer all of these Pokemon questions. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back at you with the topic.
Hey Puckalonians, it's Sublime Manic. Can't get enough of your favorite flip-flopping podcast? Then check out our social media. You can find links to our Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube all from our website, pucklepodcast.com. And you can join our Discord to hang out with your favorite hosts and other Pokelonians. Also, check us out at twitch.tv/thepucklepodcast. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. You can also check us out at YouTube at youtube.com/pucklepodcast. And we also have a Patreon if you're able to give anything at patreon.com/pucklepodcast.
And on to the topic today. Our topic is going to be useless items and how to make them good. Both Gron and Basket have lists of items that they think are useless, and I'm probably going to find uses for like half of them.
But like they're mostly useless, and that's the point. We're gonna make them so that they're like, what would need to be added to these items to make them actually useful in competitive play?
That's fair. Right. So, Scron, let's start with you. Like, let's just jump right into it. What's one of them what useless item do you have?
I'm just gonna start with like the most useless item of all time, in my opinion, and it's the ring target.
Oh my gosh, you're right. So, for people at home, let them know what the ring target does.
If you give a Pokemon a ring target, moves that normally won't affect them can affect them. So it's basically like handicapping yourself. So the application of this weapon would presumably be to give a Pokemon that knows basically Trick or Switcheroo, this item, and then you give it to like a ghost Pokemon opponent or like a Pokemon that like...
Or a fairy or a steel.
Or a fairy, and then suddenly moves that normally wouldn't affect the Pokemon affect that Pokemon.
I don't even know how you can make that good.
Yeah, because like you're using your item slot for this very specific strategy in a very specific situation to affect a very small amount of potential opponents. And you're using a turn and a move slot as well.
They would have to have some kind of huge shift in the way Pokemon is played for that item to become any kind of relevant. Because it's not like you could do the opposite, because then the item becomes super OP, right? You go, moves that would usually affect you don't affect you. That would just break the game. That makes that item too good. There's just no middle ground there. Like none whatsoever. Because then you end up handing it to Shedinja, and then Shedinja's like, ha ha ha, I win.
So how do we make this item playable?
You can't.
We just make... You know what I think? I think you can. I think you can make it playable.
Okay, I'm interested.
It doesn't affect the holder, but rather whoever the holder is facing.
Yes,
the holder can affect all of the things that normally couldn't affect. So
I would agree with that. It's like a free foresight then.
Yeah, basically.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. So like give it to a Hydreigon.
Yeah, you can give it to a Hydreigon. That would be nice. We were talking. So Battlecast comes out in 2 Thursdays. It comes out on the 26th. We've already recorded it, but we were talking about actually fairy types and the abundance of fairy types that exist right now. It would be really cool to have that item. The problem is I could see that getting a little out of control.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that good though, because generally like with a lot of Pokemon, you want stuff that boosts damage and such. So like it sort of counters specific metas of like ghost and fairy type Pokemon. I think that would be really good, honestly. Like good enough as in like it would change things.
I feel like it's a little too good. Like just a little. It's not super game breaking, but it's like Landorus level good.
Or like you could give like a Pokemon with Rapid Spin that, so that spin blockers don't even like be a thing anymore.
I could see it if there was some kind of limitation they could put on it for like base power moves. Like maybe what it does is it halves your attack or something in exchange for that.
Oh, you'd probably still see it on supports then, because like supports only one powerful move like Draco Meteor, and then like you have like Rapid Spin or something. I don't think anything learns Draco Meteor and Rapid Spin. Maybe Shelgon. So like maybe like
I don't think so. I think I could see that working though, where you get like you go, oh, it halves the attack or something like that. That way it is somewhat balanced, so that you're not like, oh, Hydreigon, remember how we tried to balance you with fairy types? Well, see you later, fairy types. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but then like the move slot for Hydreigon is used up by the ring target, so I don't think it's really that overpowered.
I don't know, because if you typically, the only other thing you could see Hydreigon using is Choice Scarf or Life Orb. And I feel like if you get to the point where a Pokemon like Hydreigon, not Hydreigon specifically, but just a Pokemon like Hydreigon, who can't be properly countered, and on top of that, you add uncertainty to the meta because you don't know if that Pokemon's holding that item or not, and that makes a huge difference. I feel like that would be a little too good. I don't want to get hung up on making ring target good. We've already spent like 5 minutes on that.
Do you have anything you want to talk about, Basket? I've got a few more.
Yeah, Basket, you have one?
So basically, safety goggles. When you read the description, it kind of sounds like it might be somewhat useful. Mm-hmm. It protects from powder moves, hail, and sandstorm. There's a lot of powder moves that can be really annoying.
It's used a lot in VGC, actually. Like, safety goggles are used a lot.
Yeah, but from what I've noticed, they're essentially used because someone already has leftovers on something. Leftovers heal the same health percentage that you get damaged by health and sandstorm. So I'm aware that Spore is huge in the VGC. Safety goggles could be really helpful with that. I don't know. I feel like leftovers and Lumberry usually can take the place of that.
I don't agree with that. I think safety goggles have a very specific use. It's used a lot in VGC. Like, it's not just because leftovers are on something else. It's mostly to counter things like Amoonguss. Like, ever since Amoonguss came in, safety goggles have been in play. Because Spore is a huge part of the game. Sleep is a huge part of the game. If you watch the finals from the North American International Championships from this past weekend, safety goggles would have made a huge difference. Because game 1, Justin gets swept hard because Jeremy gets into a position where he can put both Pokemon to sleep with Amoonguss, and it just allows for cleanup in a game. It was nuts. But safety goggle, I think there should be more items like safety goggles, personally. Or maybe some kind of item that prevents statuses. I mean, I guess we have that to an extent in the berries, but something that's more permanent than the berries. But I guess that could be broken to an extent.
So, kind of bridging off of that, we have the protective pads items, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard of those.
Go ahead. Yeah, explain what that does.
The protective pads protect from the secondary effects of moves. For example, if you were to use a Sludge Bomb, there's a 30% chance for the opposing Pokemon to be poisoned. Well, that 30% chance is gone if the opposing Pokemon is wearing protective pads. And frankly, it's pretty useless. Nothing ever wears protective pads. So
it's like baby Assault Vest.
Yeah, it negates stuff like, Ironhead's flinch chance, or like the, say, Moonblast's special attack lowering chance. Stuff
it's
like
like
that.
The item that you run when you want to, what is it? Because it's like what Basket was saying, with you ran out of items to put in that spot, or you've ran out of item slots on your Pokemon. In VGC, that is, where you have item claws. Not in OU. You don't have item claws in OU. And you're just like, man, I don't want to lose to flinch. So then you run protective pads because you're scared of getting flinched by Rock Slide a bajillion times.
Yeah, it would negate the flinch, wouldn't it? That's fun. That can be tricky. I think this item has a lot of potential. One of the ways I think it could be made better is if it actually lived up to its name and gave 0.9 times modifier to damage the Pokemon receives, or something like that. Something minimal, but something that makes a difference.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
That would be interesting. Like a really slight defense buff. I guess the problem with that is then you kind of get into Eviolite territory with that. If you do defense buffs. Maybe if it was certain type attacks, like just physical attacks or something like that. But even then, that just makes the item worse. When you make it when you isolate any kind of item to moves that make contact, it just makes it kind of meh.
Yeah, I see.
I think that's probably that's the problem. But Baskets, I know you have a list. I didn't mean to crush your hopes and dreams about safety goggles.
No. It's totally, it's fine. I have a redo here.
Okay.
Destiny not.
Okay.
If the holder, we're not talking competitively.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I picked some that are extremely helpful in other ways, but competitively are useless.
That's fair.
Destiny not, for an example. If the holder's infatuated, then the other Pokemon is now infatuated. That's just silly and ridiculous.
That's bad.
It's like synchronized, but affection.
Yeah, and it's only affection. It's ridiculous. That player has to have a Pokemon that is based on infatuating you in order for it to ever see any for you to ever get help.
I think attraction only comes into play with like a few Pokemon that have cute charm as an ability.
Yep. That's really the only reason. I would also, I don't know, I feel like the way you fix that is you make a self-inflicting.
So like if a Pokemon hits it with contact, they have a chance to get infected with cute charm.
Well, it's like cute charm, but like self-inflicting, like in like a move kind of like rest, where you put yourself to sleep, but you put yourself in love with the other Pokemon. It's like, it doesn't make any sense because you might as well, instead of using that move slot, use Attract.
Yeah.
But
I feel like any way you try and slice it, it's pretty useless because the opposing Pokemon, it's not like you can infatuate it and then switch out.
Yeah.
And then that Pokemon will be infatuated with the next one that comes out. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix that, like, competitively. I think that's one of those things, that's exactly the reason why they just left it to in-game pass on all the IVs.
This would be a fun way to fix it, maybe. So if the Destiny Knot basically made a Pokemon attracted with contact, but it happened the next turn or whatever. So, like, if you had a move like U-turn, right, and you hit it with the Destiny Knot attached, it would infatuate that Pokemon, but your Pokemon's gone, the next one's out. So if it worked like that, that would be kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know that much about the mechanics to know if that would actually work.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It would be interesting.
So I want to bring up a couple because I want to make sure we get to them. I think they're both on your list, but I want to bring up 2 items specifically. I want to bring up Absorb Bulb and Luminous Moss because they're essentially the same item.
There's also Snowball.
I guess Snowball to an extent, but so Absorb Bulb and Cell Battery also falls into this category, but you have Absorb Ball and Luminous Moss and a few other items like this where if you're hit by a specific type of attack, you gain a stage in special attack, or special defense, something along those lines. The problem with those is there's not much use. Like Luminous Moss is probably more useful than Absorb Bulb because you can get a special defense boost out of it. But the problem with like Absorb Bulb where you get a special attack boost if you're hit by a water type attack, things like Weakness Policy already exist where you get 2 stages in attack and special attack if you're hit by a weakness, right? And that works really well on something like Dragonite.
Yeah, so, with multi-scale.
So anything with multi-scale, you can use Weakness Policy effectively. I think that you can fix these very, very, very easily.
Before we get to that, like, I think stuff like this would be good if it were tacked on to, if it actually worked with the abilities such as Storm Drain. Storm Drain raises special attack when it's hit by a water type move, but it also negates the damage. And these items require damage to be dealt to the Pokemon in order to activate.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to suggest, is that you give a 1-turn immunity to that attack. Right.
Yes,
you go ahead and you give a 1-turn immunity to a water type attack to activate Absorb Bulb, a 1-turn immunity to electric type for Cell Battery, and then you give them the boost, and then the item's burned up. And
that's almost too good, though.
Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
That could be awesome with Unburden or Acrobatics.
That's true, but I can argue that you can already do something like that with Acrobatics. If you look at Hawlucha right now, Hawlucha's on like top of the world. It's literally because of the seeds for terrain, and the Tapus are really good at this point, and everything. Mm-hmm. So Hawlucha's already there. I'm not too worried about Unburden abusing because it already happens and it's not going to go away. I just think it would be another thing that would be a lot of fun because, yeah, maybe Hawlucha can get a free switch on an electric type attack with Cell Battery. That'd be pretty cool. I think those are more fun. Though I can see it getting a little out of hand, but that's the point where you just kind of accept it and then Hawlucha gets banned to Ubers because it's too good, right? Because his name's not Landorus, so he'll get banned.
It would be crazy. It would be a crazy change to VGC meta, though, because you'd be able to potentially just have it on there to be able to switch for certain counters. Like, for instance, if you know you're going to be hit with a Rock Slide and you're trying to bring out crazy good flying Pokemon or whatever, throw it out there, and then, whatever item gets rid of that, and it's just going to be, it'll be really cool. I think.
I don't know. It's a really fun to theory craft it. I'm sure that this would have a bigger impact on the meta if we did something like that. But I feel like giving temporary immunity isn't that terrible of an idea. I think it would help bring a lot of other Pokemon into the mix and it would just shake up the meta, which would be fun. Maybe it becomes a little bit unpredictable because it's just like, well, does he have an electric immunity? I don't know. But you get to the point where it's just like, well, it's not viable for you to carry a Cell Battery, right? You're still depending on your opponent to hit you with a specific move. There's a lot of baiting that's involved. And I could see back in Gen 4 that being a huge problem because you didn't have team preview, but now you have team preview, so you have an idea of what's coming.
I love this idea personally, but I also think it's going to manufacture even more salt in the community.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to see these items get banned if that happens. I'm sure that there'll be some Smogon petition.
I want to talk about the berries that I think are worst in my opinion, and I say berries because there are two and they sort of fall in the same category, and it's the Ganlon and Apricot berries.
What do they do?
These are the berries that when a Pokemon is at 1/4 or below health, they raise defense or special defense by 1 stage. And while these can be used with like rest and stuff, at 1/4 HP, a defense boost isn't going to really help you out too much.
So it's just another thing, such as a pinchberry, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it could be used with rest. The other thing I would suggest for it is a Pokemon with gluttony.
That's true.
Like if you look at a Lowland Muck or Snorlax, they can get that boost. They could probably benefit for that and have health because they're both already relatively bulky Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
However, I mean, there's obviously a reason they're not used, and that's probably because things like the pinch berries are significantly better.
You generally want like a Salic or a Lychee or like something that raises speed is significantly better.
There's occasionally those used. I think you're going to see something more like the Wiki Berry or the Apapa Berry or something in those places.
It takes a high IQ to use one of these berries hedge.
Yeah. And, I mean, it takes a high IQ. It also takes like guts of steel.
Yeah, it does. Because once you switch out, that boost is gone. That item is gone.
For a side note before we end, I think there's one berry that is somewhat undervalued, and that's the Cutsap berry.
But that's not even existent right in the current meta.
It's not existent in the current meta. The only meta that it exists in at all that's useful is 1v1s.
Yeah, and that's in Gen 4 only, right?
No, they did an online thing for it, and I think there's a 1v1 meta on Showdown right now.
Oh, so Cutsap berry is in the Gen 7 meta.
Yeah, it's in the Gen 7 meta. I used it for I might have used it in Gen 6.
Oh, I think the Cutsap berry is incredible.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Great.
It exists.
Yeah, so when a Pokemon hits 1/4 HP or below, the next turn that Pokemon moves up in priority bracket by 1, which means it basically gets a free priority move.
That's cool.
I was using it I was playing in this 1v1 tournament. It was one of the Nintendo sponsored 1v1 tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running an Aggron with reversal. It had sturdy on it, so everybody would try to OHKO the Aggron. And then you get priority reversal the next turn.
Yeah, reversal or Metal Burst work really well with it.
Yeah. Oh, Metal Burst, that's what I was using. Metal Burst is even better.
It was Bastiodon with Cutsap berry in Gen 4. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Metal Burst, for those of you who don't know, is a Steel-type move that does a lot of damage, depending on how you use it. It's the power varies. It's based on, I think, the weight of the Pokemon. I forget.
We can look it up so we don't spread information real quick.
Yeah, I don't want to misspread the information here.
Well,
I want to make sure it's correct.
That up, I want to bring up one more just because I think it's funny because it's
okay. Yeah, we'll end it here. Yeah, this is the last one. We've got a Metal Burst power.
Metal Burst does not have decreased priority and is basically counter and mirror coat mixed together. It does not require a specific damage source, so it's a strictly better counter or mirror coat that like fewer Pokemon have.
Yeah, that makes sense. Boom, that's how you do it.
And it works with Cutsap berry since it's it doesn't have decreased priority.
All right, move along, Basket. I apologize.
No problem. So this one basically 99% of the time it's useless. Well, I guess technically 90% of the time it's useless. Focus Band.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This one's hilarious to me. So it's a 10% chance to survive any hit that would OHKO, right? In my opinion, completely useless on any Pokemon other than Shedinja. And when it's used on Shedinja and you get those ridiculous like random chances that happen sometimes in Pokemon, it is absolutely hilarious. Because when I heard about that, I was just messing around in Showdown, and I survived like 3 super effective hits in a row, and took out it was a dual type fire Pokemon, and I survived 2 or 3 in a row because it was a low chance or a smaller chance to hit move in the first place, and then on top of that, I got like 2, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. So what you can do to make it better is you can follow me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
you can use, instead of making a 10% chance for it to proc, make it a consumable and guaranteed to work once if the Pokemon's at max HP.
Oh, you mean like
Focus Sash, exactly. They already did this.
yeah. No, I think it's absolutely hilarious, though. I enjoy it.
Well, that's where we're going to end it here, guys. And we'll be right back at you after this commercial break with the Pokemon of the episode.
Professor Sycamore, have you tried that new energy drink, Green Tauros?
I sure have, Trainer Thatch. It's amazing.
I heard it gives you hooves, man. Well, that's amazing. Well, what the heck happened to your hands? Green Tauros gives you hooves.
Poke of the episode.
And on to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 53, Persian, the lasagna Pokemon.
Its round face is a symbol of wealth. Persian that have bigger, plumper faces are considered more beautiful.
So we're going to focus on a Lowland Persian for this one because a Lowland Persian is good and not a Lowland Persian is not good.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So the better looking design is not good, but Garfield is good.
Garfield is good.
But Garfield's fantastic. So we're going to look over here at a Lowland Persian. He's got a base 65 HP, 60 attack, 60 defense, 75 special attack, 65 special defense, and 115 speed. And it's just like, what? And you're just like, he's a support. That's literally what he is. Because a Lowland Persian is currently probably in PU. It is in PU. Because it's a one-trick pony. It does one thing, and it does that actually pretty well. Persian is one of the few Pokemon that get access to the move Parting Shot. Parting Shot is available, I believe, to like 3 Pokemon. It is available to Silvally, Pangoro, and the Alolan Meowth and Persian lines. Those are the only Pokemon it's available to.
One of the reasons why a Lowland Persian is significantly better is it has access to the ability Fur Coat, which doubles its defense to like 120.
Yeah, which is great,
it can
honestly.
actually take a hit, yeah.
Yeah, because Fur Coat is actually a really good ability on top of that, so it's actually usable. Unlike the other Persian, which is a normal type. They both have the same weaknesses, minus the fairy weakness.
It's super cool. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, even though it looks hilarious or ridiculous, whichever way you look at it. I really enjoy it because it helped me out a lot in my Nuzlocke, because dark Pokemon are they're super helpful, and a Lowland Persian can actually take a good fighting type hit when you're going through the games. So it was really helpful as kind of a pivot, and then it also has a few really good status moves. So.
Mm-hmm.
Like Thunder Wave, I imagine.
I guess Thunder Wave, it also, I mean, it's not bad. If you want to run it competitively, the way you do it is you just full out bulk it up, man. You just like 252 HP, but then you 252 speed to take advantage of that 115 speed. You run Jolly or some kind of speed boosting nature. You could run Timid, I guess. I would honestly say Jolly over, Timid. I would say Timid over Jolly because he has such a good move pool of special attacks. And so you could run Parting Shot, Taunt, he gets Foul Play and Toxic. Now that's pretty standard. I would also run Darkinium Z because Z Parting Shot is amazing, but you could also get a Black Hole Eclipse off Foul Play. And for those of you who are uninitiated, Z Parting Shot allows you to use Parting Shot like normal, which lowers the opponent's attack and special attack. You switch out, and the Pokemon that switches in on Z Parting Shot gets fully healed.
Yeah.
It's like
as
a wish mixed with it.
KO'd.
Yeah.
Which basically makes it amazing.
Yeah, other things that it gets, though, by the way, it gets the move pool of Persian is amazing. It gets access to Fake Out, which is always nice. On top of that, it gets a huge move pool of just random special attacks. It's got access to Shadow Ball. It's got access to Shockwave. It's got access to Snarl. It's got
Thunderbolt.
access to Thunderbolt. Thunder. What is this? Why?
Yeah.
And on top of that, it also has access to Play Rough because it can. And Seed Bomb. Why Seed Bomb? I have no idea.
Power Gem.
Power Gem.
The list goes on and on, honestly.
He also gets access to Hypnosis and Icy Wind. Everything has Icy Wind now. Like everything. Just something to consider. It's a decent Pokemon. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will.
Even though normal Persian looks cooler.
The normal version does look cooler. Unfortunately, if there was a tier lower than PU, it would be in it. It would be
true.
It's too bad.
Because it's got the same move pool, but it just can't do anything. It's awful.
Well, at least Giovanni loves you.
Yeah, that's about it. It's good for being a cat.
It's good for being. Yeah.
All right, but it does have one TCG card in rotation, which isn't terrible, but it's definitely not good. Do you have that one basket? Or do you
Yeah,
want to
I
tell
have
me
it
about
up.
I'll go for it.
All right, so it's obviously a Lowland Persian. It has 90 HP. It's a dark type. It has the first move, costs no energy. You can just do it for free. And it's essentially an attacking version of a Lysander. Switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon.
That's almost significant.
It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I enjoy the idea of it. The only problem is that it's a 2-stage and what deck you put it in. And then the next attack is Claw Rend for 1 dark energy. It's 30 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 30 more damage. So it kind of can stack that way. Yeah, it's not the best.
Yeah, I mean 60 damage at most. 60 damage for an energy isn't terrible, but I mean you have GXs doing way more. Like Golisopod, look at Golisopod. It can pump out 150 damage with a choice band.
It's pretty crazy.
I'm not a big fan of this card, other than the Lysander, but if it was a stage 1 or if it was a basic, I feel like it would do much better. Like if you had a basic version of this card, you'd probably see a lot more play because it's just like, oh, it's a free Lysander, and Lysander's out of the format, so it makes sense. Outside of that, it's garbage. Like 90% of Pokemon cards. I wish I was lying. But
well, they can't make them all good, or you won't buy as much.
I need to get the bulk. Okay, guys, I need bulk. I need bulk Pokemon cards.
A fun little trivia thing about Persian is that rather than evolving at level 28, like normal Meowth does into normal Persian, a Lowland Meowth evolves via High Friendship into a Lowland Persian.
I don't understand that, by the way.
I absolutely love it because I always catch them in a luxury ball, which is my favorite Pokeball. The whole thing of it being pretty and being like this like super fancy animal in a luxury ball, it works for me.
It works for me. It has the nice aesthetic.
Yeah.
I get that totally, mate.
All right. Well, that's where we're going to wrap up this segment of the show. If you want to learn more about awesome Pokemon, you can do so by checking out pucklepodcast.com and our Discord. Do it. You won't. I'm just edging them on, because like
edging them on. No, seriously, please come talk to us. We need more friends.
Scron's lonely and goes to the movies by himself.
I'll play Pokemon Showdown with you if you specifically ask me to.
All right. That is going to be it. We're going to kick it on over, guys, to the mailbag.
It's mail time! It's time for the mailbag! Send in your emails!
And welcome to the mailbag, the part of the show where we read listener emails on the air. And as always, it is brought to you by the energy drink Green Toros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
And as always, we will be reading out these emails. And if you are good at sending in emails, we will give you the Green Toros badge or role on our Discord server, making your name green and separate from everyone else's. So if you want to go ahead and submit an email, you can do so at pucklepodcast@gmail.com. Of course,
earn that Green Toros badge that does not count toward the Summer League, but still looks cool.
Man, maybe we should make it count towards the Summer Leagues. Maybe more people would go for it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but it'd be silly. So you can go to do that. But as always, we have a prompt for you guys to respond to. This week, our prompt was, what games would you like to see Pokemon crossover with? And we have a couple of them here to read for you, and we're very excited about it. But also, if you want to send an email in next week at pucklepodcast@gmail.com, we would like to know, what items do you think are useless and how would you fix them? Send that in, pucklepodcast@gmail.com. I know we haven't hit on nearly enough of items. We only hit on like 5 or 6 today. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Each one is honestly, you could talk about for a long time and all the possibilities.
So yeah, send that in. All right, though, we're going to jump right into this first email from, I believe, Ethan. I don't think he gave us a name. He just called himself Ethan.
Hey, y'all. Been listening in on my hour work commutes for over a year now, and I just want to thank y'all for putting an awesome podcast on for the community. Crossovers. Think about Pokemon and Mario Tennis Aces fusing into a beautiful entity. In my perfect world, there would be a selection of 16 trainers, or you could customize yourself. You could be red, blue, or other main characters, etc. And the story mode bosses would be Giovanni, other bad guys, etc. These trainers you face in story mode would have their own Pokemon, so the likes of Giovanni would send out a thick baby mama Nidoqueen to smack a ball at you at shattering speeds. But as the protagonist, you would send out any list of unlockable Pokemon, and it would look as if the trainer is commanding the Pokemon like in a battle screen, but the Pokemon is the one actually playing tennis. Hope that makes sense. And the final boss could be a shiny Mega Charizard X or Mewtwo. Also, Shadow of the Colossus Pokemon Edition. Would you like to climb a Goodra and lay it to rest, only to wake up a coma-ridden Misty? If that and 15 other Pokemon giants appeal to you, let's get a Colossus remake with Pokemon and Ash is galloping around on a Mudsdale saving the world.
That's awesome.
All right, Crash Raticate. It's Crash Bandicoot platforming with everyone's favorite Endeavor Quick Attack Pokemon. In daytime levels, it's a regular rat, and at night, it's a chunky black Lowland form. I hope this email finds y'all well, and I hope that it can actually contribute to the conversation. Best, y'all are awesome, Ethan.
So I actually really like the idea of Pokemon sports games, just because. Well, so first of all, if we think about it, you guys haven't watched the Sun and Moon anime, but they did a really awesome job of making baseball a thing in the Sun and Moon anime. It's called like Pokebase or something like that. Something stupid and cheesy. But the idea is you've got teams of 6 and it's 3 trainers and 3 of their Pokemon that play baseball together. Which is interesting because like the Pokemon can use their moves and stuff. And I would be down to see some kind of thing like that as a playable video game. Like I would get Pokebase the video game. I think that's a very fun concept. Because there's a character that has a Snorlax, and you would be like, well, Snorlax isn't going to be really good running to bases. But think about Snorlax using Pulverizing Pancake to run through the bases, right? And you could have cool specials like that could make the game incredibly interesting. So I would be down for like a Pokemon sports game of some sort.
I want to watch a Lickitung run around bases with its tongue flailing everywhere. Licky learns rollout actually, so you could just like roll around on the bases. Yeah, in the the Darkrai movie, there's a Licky that just like sort of gyro balls everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. No, I could totally see something like that happening. I would love for that game to happen. I don't think it will, because I think they want to be somewhat conservative with the Pokemon franchise and kind of keep it in some kind of Pokemon lore in that universe. Because if you look at any of the spin-offs, I think the farthest they've gone off base with that is probably Conquest, where they went into some weird like feudal Japan. Mm-hmm. And if you look at like any of the other spin-off games, Mystery Dungeon is still somewhat in a Pokemon universe. It's a slightly different one, but it contains a lot of Pokemon lore. But if you go to a Pokemon sports game, you're kind of taking that away. Though I could see like Pokebase, like I said, it's in the anime. It could play very well into a video game.
They might be preparing for that, honestly. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually see it, but I don't know if it's coming anytime soon.
Yeah, like maybe it shows up on the eShop one day.
Yeah, it just drops. It's just like, hey, by the way, the next Pokemon game's coming out on Switch. Also, by the way, you can play Pokebase right now.
Yep.
Knowing them, it would come out like literally right when everybody thinks they're announcing the new Gen 8 Pokemon game, and it'd just be like, we have a new Pokemon game for you, and then silence, and everybody's just like, oh, it's Generation 8, it's coming out, blah, 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 blah. And then it just drops, and it's like, play baseball with your Poke friends.
I would love that. All right, we've got another email from Birdkeeper Cobra. So if you want to go ahead and listen to that or read that one, Basket, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Greetings, fearless leaders. Lots of great ideas for crossovers last week. I especially liked the idea of some kind of tycoon crossover. Wouldn't it be great if you could build your very own Safari Zone in the games that your friends could visit? You guys hit so many different genres, I'm having a hard time thinking of anything that hasn't been covered. Pokemon already expands to a wide variety of genres as it is. I might be doing this wrong. I'm thinking maybe you guys meant a crossover with other existing games, but I'd love to see a Pokemon game done in the cinematic style akin to Telltale's Walking Dead or Heavy Rain, essentially a story-driven Pokemon game with different outcomes based on choices you make. I think that could be a lot of fun. Let me know what you think. Best regards, still not Black Cobra.
So I think that would be interesting, but you go ahead. I think you have a much better handle on that than I do, Basket.
I love and hate that suggestion at the same time, because it's like, Heavy Rain and Telltale's The Walking Dead, those are both awesome, fun games, and I do enjoy those cinematic style games. So I think it would be super cool. But the problem is that Pokemon stories are never really very strong. So I feel like I'd be going through it, not getting any of the battles, and just hearing about all of my companions that are following me tell me about how much they want to dance and things like that. And it would probably be just horrible.
Well, I think it's more aligned. Like one of the problems with having a game like that would be the choices would be far too easy, because they're going to put like a situation where you have to save either your best friend or your starting Pokemon. Of course, everyone's going to choose the Pokemon. Jesus Christ.
That's so true, though.
I totally agree.
Like, if it were Scrawn hanging off the edge of a cliff and, like, a Totodile hanging off the edge of a cliff, I'm saving the Totodile, Scrawn.
Although I do love the idea of them, like, keeping one aspect of every generation of Pokemon games where they ask you a question and you just have to click the right one, and because they just tell you, no, really, like, you don't want to save this person? Well, you probably should, and then the dialogue ends, and then you have to click, yes, I do want to save them. It's just being lied to the entire time, like I feel every decision in the Pokemon games ever is.
You're incredibly correct. I don't know. That thing would be a really cool way for a future Pokemon game. I don't think we'll say with Gen 8. I think at earliest you would see something like that with Gen 9. Because Gen 8, I think they're going to play it pretty safe. Maybe start to push it a little bit more mature, a little bit more hardcore to the Pokemon experience, the main Pokemon experience, now that they have Baby's First Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. But then I could see Gen 9 where if it goes well in Gen 8, they go, yeah, let's crank this up a notch. And then we get a very story-driven Pokemon game with choices, and maybe you can start maybe two different versions, one where you start in two warring factions or something like that, or two different social groups. And you get a West Side Story in Pokemon.
That'd be awesome. I absolutely love your basically you destroying Pokemon Let's Go by being like Baby's First Pokemon. I absolutely love that.
I mean, I'm not wrong, right? Like
you are not wrong. Basically the thing that's making me have to choose, that's making it really hard for me to choose whether or not I'm going to buy a Switch to get it, which is a horrible financial decision, but it's basically that I can ride on an Onix and an Arcanine. Like, what? That's so cool.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are going to be bad games. Baby's First Pokemon is a little harsh, but it's definitely made for the first Pokemon games for somebody to experience, or a very casual experience. And it's definitely not the game that like you and I and Scrawn are waiting for.
It has Jesse and James in it. That's all I want.
That's true. They are doing some good things with it. I shouldn't be so harsh with it, but it's definitely not the game that is intended for a competitive audience. Which is sad.
Although I'm still going to make a competitive team in it to crush the 10-year-olds with.
We just don't know how the base stats are going to work though either in that game, because they could be completely different.
Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. It's probably just going to be combat power or something. CP like.
Well, no. So they actually have stats, like separate stats again. in this. It's some weird combination of Pokemon Go and main game. We don't know
they
yet.
They changed the stats?
Kind of. Yes. I mean, they still have CP, but combat power actually already is calculated in some way, at least in the Let's Go games. It's going to be calculated by like some number due to the sum of the stat total already. It's weird. I'm not there. It's fine. All right.
All right.
The next one is from Uncle Oshawott. That's going to be our last email today. Hey, yo, Puckalonians. It's your boy, Uncle Oshawott here. I'm a filthy casual when it comes to Pokemon. The battling and all that is fun within Puckle, but if I'm being honest, I rarely go any further into that area of Pokemon outside of the community. That being said, I often enjoy those one-off side features in main games, such as Pokemon Me, Contest, and pretty much any feature that makes Pokemon feel that much more real, excluding Pokestar Studios. No one liked that thing. That being said, I'd love a life sim of sorts with Pokemon. Out of all Nintendo franchises, the obvious choice would be an Animal Crossing type game with Pokemon. This actually wouldn't be too hard to implement at all, seeing as Animal Crossing New Leaf already has amiibo support to bring in characters from the Legend of Zelda series into the game. The one franchise I'd love to see a crossover with Pokemon would have to be, unironically, Nintendogs. Okay, before you start laughing, imagine having a more polished version of a Me, with more features that you could transfer your in-game Pokemon to. You could even have them interact with Nintendogs. Well, that's some possible options for the casual market. Are they good ideas? Probably not. But they are the best my tired self could come up with. Have a good Pokemon, Puckle. Sent from my Dexpod.
I want to you know how in Nintendogs you could find those super rare items that were like the Mario Karts?
Yeah.
I want to get one of those Mario Karts and then drive it around and then find that I'm being chased by a horde of Snubble.
I mean, I could totally see a hyped up a Me game happening, and we're getting that. It's called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because you can pet your Pikachu and your Eevee and have good times with them. I think they're opening it up so you can pet other Pokemon as well in that kind of frame. So I think that's already kind of happening. Obviously, you're not teaching them tricks and how to like backflip and stuff like you could with a Dachshund in Nintendogs or something like that. But like they're definitely coming to more realize that people want to have these kinds of interactions with their Pokemon to kind of help bond with it and make the story more real for them. Which is fine. I'm really excited to see what Let's Go has to do with the Pokemon universe. I'm so excited for like the implications that come with it, and there's just so much. And I've said this for weeks, and I really shouldn't keep doing it, but let's see what it has to do. It's probably a good thing for Pokemon overall, so we can't be too mad. I don't think I have anything else to say. Anything you guys want to end with there, or not?
I think we're good.
All right. So Green Tauros badge roll. I think Uncle Oshawott might have it.
I actually think Ethan.
Ethan, you get it.
What was
Done.
It was the Nidoqueen statement.
Oh my gosh, you were just so hung up on that statement.
A thick baby mama Nidoqueen. That's poetry within itself.
So Ethan, if you would like the Green Tauros badge, you can join our Discord and just let us know, and we will give it to you. All right. So if you guys want to send an email next week, like we said, you can send that into pucklepodcast@gmail.com, answering the question, what item do you think is useless, and how do you think we can make it better? Send that in, pucklepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to keep up your Puckalicious week, you can do it in multiple ways. First of all, by going to PuckleCon. It's a live event. It's happening, guys. Dayton, Ohio, July 21st and 22nd. It's happening. Be there or be square. But if you can't be at PuckleCon, you could probably watch it on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepucklepodcast. I'll still be streaming on Wednesday. Actually, I won't, because I'll have a Shamu. Maybe Shamu and I will stream on Wednesday. I don't know.
Yeah, you will.
Probably. And then we'll also be having, on top of that, if you want to keep doing some awesome Puckle stuff, you can come to our Discord server. You can also check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. All of those links are on our website, pucklepodcast.com. We are also just Puckle Podcast on all of those, as well as the show notes. If you want more Puckle goodness, you can check out our other feed, Puckle Plus, with a bunch of other shows such as the Puckle TCG Cast, the Puckle Game Corner, and of course the Puckle Battlecast coming back with its triumphant return on July 26th. So if you want to be in on that, go search up on your favorite podcatcher, Puckle Plus. If it's not there, send me an email. Let me know. I'll make sure it gets there by the 26th. So if you guys want all of that stuff, it's fun. If you want to help support the show, you can do so in a couple different ways. The first one is by going to Twitch, actually. And if you have a Prime membership, you get a free subscription. And if you could subscribe to us, that would really help us out. You can also go ahead and go to our t-shirt store on TeePublic and buy any of the t-shirts there. That helps the show out. Finally, if you want to help support the show more directly, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/PucklePodcast, where you can get a host of rewards, including being able to be on a live monthly show. There's going to be a live show going up on YouTube that we recorded over the weekend. And you can also just get awesome rewards, such as exclusive Puckle TCG cards with our faces on them, including the Bosifus card that's coming out this month to $10 a month patrons. So watch out for that in your mailboxes. So I think that is it, though. So I'm Trainer Thatch.
I'm Scrum.
I'm Basket.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower is closing time.
It's closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.
As always, we would like to thank our patrons who help make this show possible. So thank you to Duly Noted, 10 Little Men, Andrea, The Fluffiest Whimsicott, Dr. Shamu, Mongo87, Snag, Dexio, Jushiro, Rotted Mushroom, Bosifus, Alvarin, Seth Vilo, Minor Manetric, Claude9, The Beauty and the Geek, John R. Sigma, Doc McStuffles, Jestern, The Golden Klefki, Uncle Oshawott, Trevor, TJ, Shambles, Birdkeeper Cobra, Daniel, Traby, Greg, Alec, Carnivore J, Mikey, Ozzy, Halfful Reviews, The British Gent, Sparky, Brian, Dylan, Shira, Ironcaster, Orange Avenger, Thomas Hansen, Locke, Dennis, Echo, Anime Gravy, Travis, Mark, Inferno, and The Real EV. As always, guys, thank you for that. Without you guys, what we can do here is just not possible. So we really do appreciate your input into the community in this financial way. And as that, we're bumping up our patron stuff. We're going to start doing monthly giveaways for Pokemon. Starting with next month, we're going to be giving away Zeraora. So if you guys want to hop on that, make sure you're at the $3 tier or higher, and you'll be a part of that giveaway. So we will catch you guys on the flip-flop.